What's going on, everybody? Austin Got Figs here, and I am bringing you this week's Raw recap. So, as always, in these videos, I go over everything that pretty much the main important things that happened on this episode of Raw. I give my thoughts on it. I give potentially where I think things could go from there. And as always, you guys leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Before we get into the recap, though, be sure to smash that subscribe button. We're almost at 100 subscribers, so when we get there, that's gonna be awesome. So if you're not subbed yet and you're watching this video, be sure to tap the subscribe button and even like this video as well. And without further ado, let's jump right on in to the recap. Okay, so first off, to kick off the show, we did have Rhea Ripley come out, and she stated that pretty much evolution's right around the corner, and basically I don't have anything right now, so we got to figure out what's next for me. And then we had Io Sky come out. Io Sky tells Rhea, well, pretty much Adam Pearce told me that I can defend this against who I want, and I want the best, and the best is Rhea Ripley. So basically we had the announcement of Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the women's world championship at Evolution. So pretty cool there. I wasn't a big fan of the entire promo. It's just what we got from the promo was cool, but as far as the overall promo, I wasn't a fan of it, and I don't think this needed to open the show at all. I think this could have been maybe a mid-show thing, and this definitely did not need to open the show, but just pretty cool that it is announced that we will have Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship at Evolution, and I think that 100% will be a good match, and I cannot wait to see it. But that's everything that happened here. Let's move on. All right, moving on, we did have the New Day versus the Judgment Day for the World Tag Team Championships. And I want to talk about the match first, of course. So the match wasn't bad. I actually think the match was decent. It wasn't good. The match wasn't great either. It was really just an match, but I don't want to say it was bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't the greatest match, but it was decent. All right, I'm gonna put it that it was a decent match, not terrible. I think it's one of the better tag team matches that we've had on Raw, at least for the men's side in the most recent tag team matches for the men's on Raw. So I think that was cool. We do have new World Tag Team Champions though, of course, that being the Judgment Day. Let's go. Hype for that. What are they going to do with the titles? Nothing. I don't expect the New Day to do anything. I don't expect the Judgment Day to do anything with the tag titles. Honestly, they didn't do anything last time, so we can only hope that they do something, but my hopes are low because of what happened last time with their run. But yeah, as far as the match goes, decent match. New World Tag Champs between, of course, that being the Judgment Day. That's all there is to know there. Let's move on. Alright, and then after that, we did move on to Rusev versus Sheamus, and I gotta be honest, I wasn't a big fan of this match because I have a vision for these two guys in their feud. I really want a brutal match between these two. I don't know why, I just have the vision that they should have a brutal match, and they should probably have, some sort of stipulation that makes the match brutal, Extreme Rules, Steel Cage. I just that's what I personally think for these two guys, and we didn't really obviously get that tonight. I will say in the ending of the match, I did like that when Rusev had dragged or had pulled Sheamus into the kind of exposed turnbuckle right neck first, cut off his circulation so he couldn't breathe basically. Then he obviously got the pin, and Rusev ended up winning. I wasn't a huge fan of the match. I did like the ending. I have a vision for these two guys, and tonight was not the vision, or tonight was not the what I had envisioned. I think I want from these two guys, like I said, just a brutal match and something that ends, with blood. That I don't know why. That's just what I kind of envision from these two guys for some reason. I don't know why. I genuinely don't. But as far as the whole match goes, again, wasn't a huge fan of it. Wasn't terrible, but I just wasn't wasn't a big fan of it. Again, Rusev did win. That's all there really is. That's all there really is needed to know. That's all my thoughts on this match. Let's move on. All right, and then what a segment that we are about to talk about, man. So much happened here, and man, just awesome. So we'll start off. Gunther comes out, and he's pretty much going on about Goldberg still. I'm continuing the idea that I'm going to destroy Goldberg. I'm going to ruin the legacy of Goldberg. I'm going to bully Goldberg. Goldberg used to be the bully. Well, now he's met his bully, basically. That's what Gunther had to say. Then he had said, pretty much, once I beat Goldberg, what's next? The question is, who's next? Or I have to answer who's next. Who's next for Gunther? And then we had Seth Rollins come out, Mr. Money in the Bank, with his new Money in the Bank case, by the way. I actually put up a tweet about that. My Twitter link will be in, or my X link, whatever you want to call it, will be in the bio of this video. I put up a little tweet about that, pretty much saying what y'all think about the new case, and you guys can go over there and tell me all about it, what you guys think about it. But that's besides the point. So Rollins comes out, and he pretty much goes on about CM Punk for a minute, and then he says, after that, when I won this being the Money in the Bank briefcase, I vowed to take out, or to destroy both champions, not just the one. And then he had said, congratulations, champ, to Gunther. And then that's when CM Punk came out, and then he started beating up Rollins, as Goldberg was why do I keep saying Goldberg? I mean, Gunther was just sitting in the corner like this, pretty much, just chilling, just watching this brawl. Eventually, Seth Rollins was able to wiggle out, and then he went up into the crowd, and then CM Punk, obviously all outraged. He didn't chase Seth Rollins, but he did walk out. As he was walking back to the backstage, or as he was going to exit the ring, Gunther had actually stopped him, and then CM Punk got pissed off, which I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know if that was a shoot. It really looked like a shoot, but CM Punk had actually shoved Gunther down. I mean, Gunther fell too, so I don't know if that's a shoot. It seemed like a shoot, so I don't know though. To me, it did look like a shoot. But then CM Punk went out, and then as Seth Rollins was going back, was going through the fans, we had LA Knight come out, and he started attacking Rollins, and then that went all up into the crowd area where you could go buy food and merchandise in the arenas. So they started brawling there. Again, Seth Rollins at some point was able to wiggle out and get out of there, but the main takeaway, I think we have our world title picture, man. Gunther, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and LA Knight, man. I think that is our world title picture for the next coming months, and because there's no other way that I could see it after what we had seen here tonight. I think that is definitely our world title picture for the next few months here and leading up to SummerSlam, man. I think that is exactly what it's going to be. I hope that's what it's going to be, because that is absolutely stacked, and I can't wait to see if that's really the case, man. So but yeah, I think that's what we saw here tonight. Great segment, really enjoyed it. Probably the best, or one of the main highlights of this show. But yeah, man, great segment. I loved it, and let's move on. Okay, and next up we did have Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley for the #1 contendership to Becky's IC championship. I gotta be honest, I did actually kind of like this match, but it, again, was not like a show stealer, of course. It's not something crazy. It wasn't terrible, but it was okay. So I did personally think it was decent, in my opinion, so I will state that. Obviously, it was interesting that we actually didn't have a winner. It was declared a draw by the referee, since both women's their shoulders were both down on the mat during the pin. So it's going to be interesting to see how that potentially plays out. Eventually, we all know it's probably going to be it either is going to end up being a triple threat for the IC title, for the women's IC title, between Becky, Lyra, and Bayley at Saturday night's main event, or it's going to be SummerSlam. I know they're obviously building to this, of course. We've already seen it the past couple weeks. I'm hoping that it's at SummerSlam, or maybe we do it at Saturday night's main event, but we rerun it at SummerSlam. One of the two. But yeah, as far as the match goes, like I said, it wasn't the greatest, wasn't terrible, it was okay. again, ended in a draw, so I already gave my thoughts on that. I mean, that's really about it here, man. You know, pretty simple. Nothing much to cover here. That's really it, man. So let's get into our main event. All right, and then in our main in our main event, it was Sami Zayn and Penta versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and what a match, man. Honestly, this was definitely, I want to say, the best match of the night. I actually enjoyed this match for the most part. I was just more of what I wanted to see tonight. You know, tonight I was kind of feeling some some aggression, and I feel like I saw the most aggression coming out of this match, you know, so for that reason, I really enjoyed this match. I felt like there was a lot of aggression, which I like to see, so very cool. Obviously, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed did end up defeating Penta and Sami Zayn. So Penta and Sami did lose, and then Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, they tried to set up a post-match attack on Sami and Penta. That obviously did not go their way because guess who's back? Jey Uso comes out with a steel chair, takes out Breaker, takes out Bronson Reed, and then Sami, Uso, and Penta, they stand tall as Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, they walk up back to the entrance. So I think it's been about maybe 3-4 weeks now since we've last seen Jey. I feel like I'm pretty sure we haven't seen him since he lost to Gunther on Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago. So pretty cool to see Jey back. Again, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, they did win. They tried to perform a post-match attack. Did not work out because Uso is back. Yeet to that. Yeet. Okay. So that really sums it up here, man. I definitely think this is the best match of the night as far as matches go. But yeah, that really sums it up here, man, honestly. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap up this week's Raw recap. The highlights that I want to point out, obviously, was that main event. I enjoyed the main event. I think it was the best match of the night. And then as far as segments go, I want to say that the whole Gunther, Punk, Rollins night and LA Knight segment was the best. Not match wise, that was the best because I think like I said earlier, I think it definitely set up a whole picture for what we're gonna see for the world title picture over the next coming months and going into SummerSlam and all these upcoming PLEs, man. So those are my highlights of the night. Those are what I think are the best things that happened here tonight on this episode of Monday Night Raw. As far as the overall of this show, it wasn't terrible, but it's not one of the greatest Raws we're ever gonna get out of the year. Of course, you know, it wasn't bad, but it was decent, you know, not the greatest. So pretty decent, man. Not terrible. I mean, I did enjoy watching it at least, so I will say that. But yeah, man, that wraps everything up. So as always, though, leave me everything that you guys think about this show down in the comments below. I will be sure to read those and get back to you guys and pretty much give my thoughts on your guys' thoughts. You know, if you do like this video, be sure to like this video. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to smash that subscribe button. We are on the road to 100 subscribers, man. We are so close. So if you're not already subbed and you're watching, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Help me out, get to 100 subscribers, man. Hey, come on. You know you want to. I'll even turn on post notifications also so you get notified every time I upload a video. I upload tons of wrestling content. I mostly do action figures, but I also do videos like this. So, just if you're into any of that stuff, you're definitely in the right place, man. So, yeah, man, that wraps it up for this recap. That wraps it up for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.